Hello and welcome to Venus. As you can see, we already have a starter base here, and I'm already on day 5 in-game, and that's because this series is going to be a little bit different. I want to build a super large base and focus a lot more on the end-game stuff, and if I'm gonna take you with me through every minute of it, I would probably go crazy and start talking to basketball. So I will not do that. We are going to do more progression jumps here. And this is my small little starter base. And it's not, too fancy. We can head inside and look at the inside. And inside here we have our crafting setup and just some basic oxygen storage and a box that we can pressurize with some oxygen to open our helmet and stuff. But yeah, this is pretty much the start, and this is where we're gonna operate out of from for the foreseeable future. I'm not too concerned about running out of oxygen or water, because with the new trader setup we can buy it if we need more. So let's focus on progression first. And jumping ahead to day 17, we have progressed quite a bit, but not where you would think we would progress, because, like I said, we are not really concerned about oxygen and water for now. So I have progressed with alloys and started making preparations for expanding. We have managed to get a heavy drill in the backpack and some sensor lenses so that we can progress even faster. I have put all my oxygen, both hot and cold, into the same pipe network here. So let's see. I think it's 56 degrees now, so we need some cooling pretty quick, but I mean, we'll survive on 56 degrees. Yeah, we can head outside and see that on the outside it's not much happened. We have some more power, and we have our furnaces here. So I have 3 furnaces, and I use this one for electrum and solder and for degassing ores. And this one is used for steel, constantan and invar, and it's heated with a solid generator and pipe heaters, because I mean there isn't really a lot of other options, but keeping it isolated means that we are not really losing that heat, and because we're degassing all the ores, then we really only need to heat it once. And the advanced furnace is used for one thing and one thing only, and that's Inconel for the sensor lenses, so that's probably not gonna see much use. And over here we have our oxygen storage. So the next now is probably to get some cooling so that, our oxygen supply doesn't heat up too much. And on day 28, I have managed to bring my oxygen supply down to a cold temperature. Let's see. It's now 1.8 degrees. And we have this tower here, and this is actually the AC setup you have seen in my AC video. It's the 6 ACs with volume pumps. I just kind of camouflaged it and made it more interesting to look at, I think. And we have even more windmills and nothing really happening here. I do, however, though, I have not been lazy. I have been mining and producing. So we have a bunch of material for building the actual base I want to build. And as you can see, my little start base is starting to get pretty crammed. It's stuff everywhere, and I just know that I'm gonna need tons of everything, so yeah, I'm just really just preparing for the inevitable. And when I said making a big base, I really meant building a big base. Here is the rough outline of what I'm planning, and you can probably guess what this huge room in the middle is going to go for. We're basically building around a large landing pad, and planning. I have a rough idea, so you can see the frames poking out here is basically my rough idea, but what exactly goes where, I'm not too sure about yet. We'll tweak stuff as we go along, but we are basically thinking big right away. And we still don't have any plants, we don't have any food, we don't have any water production and nothing like that. We are basically jumping straight to building a big base and doing everything inside here. So yeah, that's the plan at least. But our oxygen supply is probably the first thing to run dry. So we should probably get started on something here. Start to utilize some of these rooms. And see if we can find a trader to get down. And we are already on day 40 in game. And I still haven't gotten any traders yet, but we're just about ready for it. I did finish up this room, a small, humble little greenhouse. I say that kinda sarcastically. It's currently being cooled down with this first small cooling setup. We're probably gonna need better cooling than this pretty soon, but you know, one thing at a time. First, some plants. And we have built the trading setup with a pretty long landing pad here, so this should be able to support even the big planes when we get enough oxygen and stuff to actually pressurize this. But yeah, it's probably not gonna happen right away, but yeah, this is basically it. We have windmills for now, but I'm of course gonna try and get this base powered by a gas fuel generator, but we can't really think about that before we have the hydrogen production up and running. Over in the starter base, it's still much of the same story. Nothing really happening. I'm living out of it still and producing everything out of it, but we'll start to move over here one step at a time. And on day 47, we have our first organics trader, and we are gonna pick up some tomatoes and potatoes. And that's mostly because those are the cheapest ones. Tomatoes we can sell as canned tomatoes to make money, and potatoes can feed us, they grow fast. And all of these basic plants generate oxygen about the same anyway. And we'll save more money for buying water eventually, I think. Over here we have been building, so this is probably gonna become my atmospherics room. Over here you can see I have been working on on a new AC setup. So this is the 12 AC kind of thing. Again, built like the other one, just stacked up to make it more interesting and not take up a big footprint. And even though we just got the seeds here, the greenhouse isn't quite ready yet. So we can dump them in here, but the greenhouse is still at 111 degrees. Looks like the starter base is running low on power. And I don't have any coal right now, so I'll deal with that. But yeah, the greenhouse, I mean, I could have probably started smaller, but yeah, it's been taking a while to cool down with this small setup. So, but we're not too far away from being able to start planting here. But at least we got the seeds now, so I guess we could just send you off. And on day 55 we are still producing here in the starter base. The only thing that has moved out is now the water. It's gone, and we are still producing at high rates here. So whenever I need something, I don't count them in stacks even. I count how much ores or how much ingots I'm gonna spend on it. But let's hop outside and go and have a look on the base. And yeah, the greenhouse is now operational. We'll go in and have a better look at it. I have a trader here. This is a gas trader. Oh yeah, the landing pad isn't powered, but this is a gas trader. And that's because we are probably gonna be buying water for now instead of making it. Over here, this setup is now operational, although I don't really have power to run it full time. So it's managed by a ship there, so we don't drain the power on this base yet. But these two towers are basically just the regular AC setup, and this setup here is specifically to cool down CO2. But I don't think it has delivered anything yet. Nah, it has some in here, so it's working on it. Here's the gas storage for the landing pad. This is insulated, so I have vacuumed out this box because these tanks, they leak heat incredibly fast. So if I buy any gases and these had been outside in Venus Atmos, then I would have heated up the gas I bought super fast. So yeah, let's run inside the greenhouse and get a better look at that. And here in the greenhouse we haven't too many plants yet. This is the original 3 tomatoes still growing, and I have done 1 batch of potatoes and turned 3 into 9. And the grow lights are automated, and the cooling here is automated. The harvest isn't operational yet, but I'm hoping to get them running pretty quick, just so that we can get to some scale on the plant stuff here. But yeah, we still have a bunch of water actually. Not running super low on water. It looks to be holding up. So hopefully we are gonna be producing enough oxygen out of this room to get the landing pad eventually pressurized and get one of those tier 3 traders, so that we can buy a Darga Fern and a Winter Spawn. That would help us a lot, because well, Darga Fern for oxygen, but Winter Spawn is probably more important because it gives us a lot better cooling, a lot more scalable cooling than using ACs. So the ACs we have are more of a backup plan until we get winter spawns running. But I think that's it for this video, and I really want to get this one out so that you can ask questions if there is anything you want me to cover more. If there is anything you want me to go in more in depth on and explain, then let me know. So far it's just been getting the basics up and running, and I'll feel a lot more comfortable once I have water and oxygen on tap. But before then it's really just managing all the few resources I have and making sure we progress. But I think that's it. So thanks for watching, and tune in to the next episode and leave some comments if you have some questions.